So President Obama went out today to Rose Garden and basically announced amnesty for young illegals in what many people are calling a jobs program for illegals. But he basically rewrote immigration law outside of the Constitution, outside of Congress. Here's some sound bites. Set it up. CNN's newsroom. Anchor Wolf Blitzer speaking with Chief White House co-respondent Jessica Yellin about the regime's announcement that it's going to stop deporting illegals who come to the country at a young age. That's 30 and under. Blitzer says this is not a formal executive order that the president will sign. It's more of a policy order coming from the Department of Homeland Security. What, does that make it okay, Wolf? Is that how you rationalize make it okay? Kardashian not really doing it. He's not really signing an executive order. No, he's going to have Big Sis do it. Jan Napolitano. Here's what Jessica Yellin said in response to the probing question from Wolf Blitzer.
There is an election this year, and we all know that the president and his campaign are working to not just win the Latino vote, because he does already have significant support among Latinos, but energize the Latino vote, because he needs Latinos who already support him to be passionate in their support, to come out and vote, because that margin could make the difference for him on election day. And so to some extent, we could see this through that lens, and that this is one step in trying to tell this community, look, I'm doing something for you.
I do not believe what I do, but I don't. She didn't even try to disguise the fact that she works in journalism. She just came out and said in a fully supportive and enthusiastic way, it's about votes. The president needs support from Hispanics. Now, the predictable, let's do the reversal. George Bush announcing this. And if they thought it was for votes, do you think they'd rake him over the coals for going outside the Constitution, for being so selfish, for threatening U.S. immigration policy for his own selfish desire for vote? Here we have this woman actually enthusiastically supporting this, explaining it to the audience in a way that she hopes they will support this. And CNN wonders why they've got 50,000 viewers in the 25 to 54 demographic. What? Which one? Well, was Jessica Yellin? Well, what does it matter who it is? It says CNN info, babe. Were you not listening? But this is. I'm going to play this again. This is. Here you have a guy who is violating the Constitution, is going outside the law. He is writing immigration policy himself. He is implementing amnesty. And Wolf Blitzer says, well, it's really not a formal executive order. I mean, it's more of a policy order from the department. So he's trying to excuse it. At least Wolf knows. And he's trying to cover for the press. Well, it's not an executive order. He's making Janet Napolitano do it. This reporter, in explaining this, comes out here and basically tries to explain it in a way that would engender support for the, well, he needs votes, Wolf. He's got to get reelected. We want him reelected. She doesn't say that, but she may as well. We want him reelected, Wolf. He's got to do this for the votes. He's got to, here, listen to this again. There is an election this year, and we all know that the president and his campaign are working to not just win the Latino vote, because he does already have significant support among Latinos, but energize the Latino vote, because he needs Latinos who already support him to be passionate in their support, to come out and vote, because that margin could make the difference for him on election day. And so to some extent, we could see this through that lens, and that this is one step in trying to tell this community, look, I'm doing something for you. And by the way, if you don't understand what he's saying, listen to me. I will help you understand what he's saying. I will help you vote for Obama. Look, I know that's what her mindset. I know my expectations are not high. This should be true, but this is blatant. It's about votes. It's fine. If he needs the votes, it's fine. I don't care what it is what she's saying. Wolf, doesn't matter what he needs the votes from these people. Don't you understand, Wolf? So it's fine. It's okay. He needs the votes. No concern for the country. No concern for the Constitution. No concern for anything other than this poor guy needs the votes. And they wonder why they got 50,000 viewers. Okay. I had my fill of that. Now let's go to some Obama sound bites from the actual Rose Garden ceremony.
Secretary Napolitano announced new actions my administration will take to mend our nation's immigration policy, to make it more fair, more efficient, and more just. Specifically for certain young people, sometimes called dreamers. Now, these are young people who study in our schools, they play in our neighborhoods, they're friends with our kids, they pledge allegiance to our flag. They are Americans in their heart, in their minds, in every single way but one, on paper.
No, according to the law. So, Big Sis is going to announce it, not me. I'm just telling you what she's going to do. On behalf of my regime. They're Americans. They're Americans in every way you can. They say the Pledge of Allegiance. They hopefully vote. They study. And they play in our neighborhoods with their friends and our kids. And they pledge allegiance. So you see, it's not right, folks. It's not right that they can't vote. It's not right that they can't stay. It's just totally unfair because they're citizens. Now, what happens if Obama wants to deport me? Because he thinks I'm not a good citizen. Big Sis would be happy to oblige, and the left-wing blogosphere would probably pay my way out. So what we're hearing today is government trumps the rule of law. Getting out the vote trumps the rule of law. These 30-year-olds are playing in Obama's neighborhood. 30-year-olds playing. I thought kids stopped being kids at 26. So, one more. This is Kardashian assuring us this is not amnesty.
Effective immediately. The Department of Homeland Security is taking steps to lift the shadow of deportation from these young people. Over the next few months, eligible individuals who do not present a risk to national security or public safety will be able to request temporary relief from deportation proceedings and apply for work authorization. Now, let's be clear. This is not amnesty. This is not immunity. This is not a path to citizenship.
Then what the hell is it? And let me tell you what's next. Up next is forgiving student loans, and after that, forgiving certain home mortgages. You watch. That's what's coming next. As I said at the top of the broadcast, I'm just a little surprised that they're doing this now. They're spending their political capital awfully early. This is something you normally would save for closer to November. Oh, the home mortgage thing, they'll both happen this summer. Student loans and home mortgage will happen this summer. Before the new iPhone comes out in September. Pot will be legalized. That'll happen. That'll be the last thing to go, if necessary. That'll happen in October, legalizing marijuana. Yep, so those are the three things to come. I'm not kidding, folks. I am not kidding. Forgiving student loans or something very much close to it, and same thing with home mortgages, and then legalizing pot for the Ron Paul vote. That's what that's all he's got. That it's either that or beat up Romney, or that and beat up. Now, here's the bite where the reporter Neil Monroe, the Daily Caller, interrupted the president with the question.
This is a temporary stopgap measure that lets us focus our resources wisely while giving a degree of relief and hope to talented, driven, patriotic young people. It is the right thing to do. Excuse me, sir. It's not time for questions, sir. Not while I'm speaking.
The question that Neil Monroe asked is it the right thing to do for American workers? That's why Obama didn't want to answer the question. Plus, the whole thing's scripted on the teleprompter. He didn't want to go off prompter. But the question was, is it the right thing to do for American workers? Because Obama had just said it's the right thing to do. So Neil Monroe of Daily Caller, is the right thing to do for American workers? And he he asked the question, fled the scene, and reporters gave chase. You think the reporters have a dungeon somewhere for those that stray from the supporting of Obama path?